Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Grease. And I got to go see this in theaters last week as this was the 40th anniversary TCM Classics presentation of Grease, which it seems like they're doing even more showings because this was such a big hit. The crowd that I saw it with was full, the audience was full. There's a lot of kids, which was cool, seeing these kids getting up and dancing to the music despite the fact that they say some really inappropriate things in this movie and it probably isn't for kids. But this film is a classic, and this is Rydell High. The T-Birds and the Pink Girl and the Pink Ladies, and these young people in high school dealing with high school things, and a young transfer student from Australia falling in love with a greaser, and this is so much fun. This film, it is really a lot of fun, and it was so cool seeing it high energy up on the screen. And this is directed by Randall Kleiser, and Kleiser does a nice job of staging everything in this film, doing a nice job of filming the action, with all being choreographed and well presented in this film with the dancing, the singing. Because the thing is, musicals are hard to capture because, I'm not gonna lie, it feels very unnatural and trying to balance all the different things going on in the film, and he does a really nice job with it. And the pacing, this never slows down. It always has a nice energy to it. It hits music when it needs to hit music. It captures character and scenes in that nature when it needs to. And in terms of emotions, you feel for these characters. There's some heavier moments in dealing with some interesting themes like getting pregnant, or trying to find your place in the world, or trying to get through school and dealing with dangerous other people and reputations and falling in love and all these different things. The quintessential high school movie, and it's a musical well before the 90s and the 2000s with so many high school films. This was something that really came out, and this was a big nostalgia trip as well for the 1950s, as this came out in the 70s. And it really captures that era. Has some great supporting cast that I won't talk like Eva Arden and Sid Caesar's in this film, and like these smaller roles, Frankie Avalon. It's just such a fun film, so much high energy, and the music is great. Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey wrote the music for this film. It's so well performed. All the music works so well. There's so many classic films, Grease Lightning being one of my personal favorites, and just everything from start to finish. There's so much fun going on in this film, and it's well shot. Bill Butler does a nice job of capturing all the sequences, having the framing of all the shots to make sure that you capture all the great choreography going on, all the dancing, and that's a hard chore, is really capturing all that big, larger-than-life stuff going on, but they do a really good job in this film. This was written by Bronte Woodard, and my biggest things with this film, there are some characters that really like big stereotypes, don't get a whole lot to do. There's a lot of characters to balance, and not everybody gets to stand out. But the big thing that I have some problems with watching this now is some of the themes aren't exactly the best thing to be portraying in this film, especially towards the end. And not to give too much away, but like, do you change yourself for somebody you like because they're not willing to change the negative things about them? And where that really falls down in this film kind of takes it a little bit away watching it now and really thinking about that. But it's still such a fun film. It's a great time. John Travolta is absolutely amazing. This film shows why he was so popular and why he's so talented, and no matter what crazy stuff he's doing now, he had so much talent. He could sing, he could dance, he can act. He did a great job, and he was like the definition of cool in Rydell High, and he was just there. He was so cool in this film, just the whole look, the swagger, everything. Olivia Newton-John was great as Sandy with the singing and the dancing, and definitely towards the very end of the film where she goes through a little transformation. But through several other shout-outs, Stockard Channing, Jeff Conaway, Dee Dee Khan, all do really nice jobs as supporting cast. And this is a nice ensemble. Everybody really pulls their weight and do a nice job. All the characters are very memorable. Even though some of them don't get a whole lot to do, they're still memorable on screen. And I love this. This movie's great. I'm so glad that I got to go see this on the big screen. I suggest if you get a chance to go see it as well, take advantage of it. And I'm going to give Grease an A-.